Hello, survivors, and welcome back to another episode of Will You Survive?
The podcast.
I'm Alex.
And I'm Eric. It sounded like you were going to say Eric.
I was actually going to start talking about the movie too soon.
Are you? I'm Alex. Moving on.
So today we're taking a different approach. This does fall in the realm of horror.
Yeah.
But it's completely different than what we normally do. It is in line with what we did with Saw. So one of our TikTok followers, Dean Laxer, had recommended we watch Cube.
You know, this isn't what I thought Saw was, but this was more along the lines of what I thought Saw was.
I'm guessing when you said part 2, Saw 2, was more about the traps, that's what I thought of.
I'm hoping. See, I've never seen it.
I know.
That's what I hear.
We're just being told. So as we're told these things, we go in with kind of a hope. This was like it was a giant 3D cube. 6 people were just thrown in there. We don't know how. We don't know why. We don't know who put them there. And we never really find out.
No, even at the end, which is the most unsatisfying ending ever.
But we know that all of them have their own unique skill set.
So right off the bat, there is a video game that almost follows this exact premise. The game doesn't really have a story as far as I know, but if I'm not mistaken, it's called Killing Floor. You're in this, usually it's like 3 layers, and it's like a 5x5 of square rooms. And you walk through the rooms, and some of them have traps and some of them don't, and you're trying to go through the ones that don't, obviously, to not die. And it's even similar enough to the movie that you have 2 boots for each person. And you toss the boot in to see if it triggers anything. But this movie does more than like motion sensor.
Right.
I love how the rooms are trapped in different ways. They're triggered in different ways.
Sound.
That one would be so hard.
Dude,
And then with an autistic guy.
really? Like.
Oh, man.
And what was interesting is we didn't have, I hate to say it this way, but we didn't find a use for, we'll say, mentally incapacitated man until we figured out that, boy, was he like a savant in math.
That was his autism.
Oh my God. He saw a number and was able to identify if it was, what was its prime?
No. How many factors?
How many factors? That's right. He could name out how many factors.
Which is, according to Levin, astronomical.
Astronomical. And he kept repeating that over and over again.
What was his name again?
It was a tough one. Kazan?
Oh, Kazan.
Kazan. And then the other math whiz was the college student, Levin.
Oh my God, I was so upset when she died.
Wow, spoiler. I'm just kidding. This is from 1997.
20 years ago almost.
Which, I mean, being from 1997, it was not a bad movie.
Well made. You know, it kind of reminded me of Doom.
A little bit.
With The Rock.
A little bit.
It just kind of had a similar vibe.
It just, what was so funny is it could have been so dark, but it wasn't. It was so well lit because of all the colors of each cube room.
I did like that. Some of them, like, I find it hard to see in red. Like those photography rooms that are all red. I don't know why they are. I assume it's something to do with light. When pictures are what
dark room.
They're being treated or it's hard for me to see.
Really?
In those rooms. I don't know if that's that way for everybody.
That's my superpower.
It's just gray.
Being colorblind, it's just light.
Wait, what does a red room look like to you?
Just light.
That's it?
It's not bright or anything. It's just it's a dim light, but it's just light.
In like a gray room or like a brown room?
You know, it's hard for me to actually answer that. I would have to stand in one and tell you what I see. I don't see red. Being colorblind, I'm not like black and white. I don't see only in black and white. But what I will tell you is I do not depend on color sight. So it's really
like
hard.
Even the ones you can see?
Yeah. I don't pay attention. Here's a good example. When we were watching The Walking Dead, they would do flashbacks in black and white.
Oh.
And I had no idea.
I don't know if it was black and white. Yeah,
No, it was.
Are you sure?
Positive.
I don't think it was black and white. I think it was
black and
just
white.
like a lower contrast.
Nope. It was black
I'm
and
gonna
white.
look up. Hang on, we're gonna look up a Walking Dead flashback. Let's see if that even pops up. Walking Dead flashback. I don't even know these scenes. I think they're from too far in the show.
No, that's not what I meant. There's an episode much later, like they've already been in Alexandria, and there's an episode where you're jumping back and forth, present and past, and it's intermixed the whole episode. And in order to tell you that you're watching a flashback, they would put it in black and white. And it was for me, it was weird because as I'm just watching it, I'm like, this is really confusing. What? This seems like it's out of time. And it was someone else watching with me was like, I'm thinking they're telling us that it's supposed to be in the past. Why? It's black and white. And I was looking at it, I go, are you fucking serious? And I kept watching, and then when it went back to the present, I go, oh! I was just
That is so strange.
watching it, and I said, it really indicated to me how little I pay attention to color.
Wow. So in other words, you don't see color.
I see fine most colors. It's I have really hard time differentiating greens from browns, reds from browns.
See, I can understand red. Green surprises me. I guess green's not that far from brown, though.
Well, yeah, green and brown are tough and different. I mean, they have to be like very similar in the shade. Like if you show me like a picture of a tree or a picture of grass and a picture of like a baseball diamond, right? Baseball diamond, I can see the green versus the brown.
Yeah.
But it's mostly because
It's also like a texture difference.
Well, yeah, there's that, but it's also because I've been conditioned. So I know when I look at trees, I'm usually seeing green leaves, right? But I've also had the instance come up where I've looked at a tree and I had someone with me who was like, oh my God, that tree is so beautiful. And I'm looking at it, I go,
It's just all brown.
God, it looks dead. Well, they told me they were like deep purple leaves. I was like, oh, what'd you see? I said, they looked black. Like I didn't see any color to it. I couldn't like, I would have to have a frame of reference to be able to tell what it was. I normally would only see blue in purple. So most purples, violet, all of that, they look blue. And I have a hard time differentiating that from like purple.
I want to do, there's like these little quizzes on Instagram where I think it's like a filter game where it'll show you 4 shades or like 4 little circles. 3 of them will be the same shade. 1 of them will be slightly off. And you have to identify which circle has a different shade. Mm-hmm. And the farther you get, the more circles they add and the closer in shades they become.
I mostly dominate tinting. Any like tint variations, I dominate that.
I don't know. I don't really like, I'm not looking at things in front of me and being like, yes, blue, green, red, yes, yellow, orange. But I definitely notice colors.
I do not.
That's
I
crazy.
I don't like, I meet someone, right? So as I go and introduce myself, I talk to them. I could be talking to them for an hour. And if somebody says, what color was their hair? Oh, I don't know. What color were their eyes? I don't know. Like this one.
I get eyes.
This one person that I've been working with for a long time, until I got those Enchroma glasses, I had no idea. She walked outside and I had the glasses on. And I go, holy shit, your hair is red.
Oh,
and she
that's
goes,
funny.
Yeah, my hair's
She's
been
like,
red.
Always had her hair red.
Forever.
Yeah.
And so I was like, I never knew it.
Wow. See, but that makes sense though, because you're colorblind to red. Mm-hmm. So that makes sense. But just color in general is wild to me.
Yeah. I'm just not dependent on it. I don't rely on it.
That's weird.
You know what else color blindness really messes you up on? Depth perception.
Does it really? Mm-hmm. I have awful depth perception just as it is.
Really?
I'm really bad.
I have a terrible time terrible time at telling you what 20 feet is. I just don't know.
That's why I'm so bad at DMing in D&D, because I'm like, you walk into a room and it's 30 feet wide and 50 feet long, and I'm trying to like, how big is that?
Yeah, I mean, this would be about 10 feet right here.
No way. See,
this room.
I think maybe 12 to 14 feet.
It might be 12. Your ceiling, floor to ceiling, is probably close to 8 or 9 feet. I would say 8. That's probably 7.
The doorway?
The doorway.
I think
Standard.
But that's more than a foot. So I think maybe like 9 feet.
No, that's about a foot. That's about a foot.
That is not a foot.
Yes, it is.
There's no way.
Our listeners are loving this.
Yeah,
They could see all of
the
this.
vent is maybe a foot.
No way.
Yeah.
You are nuts.
Yeah.
No, it's not.
I want to pull out a measuring tape. I have a measuring tape. Hang on.
Do it.
Damn it, I don't know where it is right off. I know we have one in the closet.
That's your problem from being gone all this time.
I know, my room is a disaster. I am basically moving back into my room. I basically moved out temporarily. My entire setup was gone.
To speak for fact, I just want to make sure I'm saying the fact is The Walking Dead season 6 premiere used black and white.
But was that the only time?
I think so.
Okay.
I think
I was going to say,
just been that
if
one.
this was just a regular occurrence, there's no way.
No, it was to indicate when they were doing it, because they did it a lot of times in one episode. It's one thing when they started that episode and it was in the past, and then that episode or that scene ended and they come into the present, and you kind of know what had happened, right? And with the context of the previous episode, you knew exactly what was going on. But now, going back to color, all of the color changes, you said the red room was hard for you to look at, the cube that they had, it was hard for you to see. The blue was hard for me.
Really?
Because I could see blue just fine.
The blue I thought was the easiest to see.
Blue permeated my eyes.
See, that's what the red did to me.
It doesn't have that effect on me.
That's really weird.
It's just light.
So if someone were to shine a red laser into your eye, it would just be light, like a flashlight.
It would still hurt. I mean, it would still bother me. Red or green, it would still. Well, I mean,
like it just flashes your eye. You'd be like, oh.
Maybe I don't know. I don't know exactly how.
What does the laser pointer look to you like? It's just light.
It's just light.
Like
it's
gray
just a
light
dot.
or just.
It depends on where we're at. If you're in a dark area, I would have a lot more confidence in calling it either red or green. I was super confident that it was a red laser pointer until somebody was like, "Oh no, they make green." It's like, damn. Now I don't know for sure. Screwed. And
all right, we're using laser sights. Green is friendly, red is enemy.
Call of Duty all over again.
Yeah.
But the way that I see things, the way that I look at things, I just realized that I'm not dependent on color. I'm horrible, like being a witness for a traffic accident. I am a horrible witness. I don't know what color car you have. I don't know what color car they have. I don't know what the person looks like.
I was waiting for you to bring that up. Almost every street witness is unreliable.
Well, that's true.
We had an experiment in school where somebody just walked in. I think this is a common experiment. Someone will just walk in, take the teacher's computer, and walk out. And then a different person will walk in and ask you, what color shirt were they wearing? Did they have a hat on? You know, how tall were they? And questions just to see how varied the answers are amongst the students, so that just to point out, like, when you're not paying attention, something just happens.
Yeah.
It's real easy to mix up details.
You know, way outside of the realm of what we're talking about, but it's in context with this discussion, but outside of Cube, is the show Friends really messed me up. In one of the later seasons, Chandler gets glasses, and he comes and he sits down and he says, "Look, guys." And everybody's like, "What?" And he points to his face and like, "Eyes. Chandler's eyes." I was like, Like, I got glasses. I was like, oh, I thought you always wore glasses. And I swear, my natural reaction watching this show was, I thought he always wore glasses. No, he didn't.
I kind of thought
He never
did
wore
too.
glasses. And then he got glasses.
When he was chubby, he wore glasses.
Yeah.
Was that when that
was
happened?
that was when that happened. He got glasses.
Oh, I guess I thought that just happened a lot sooner.
And it was so damn funny, but I think that was like season 6 or 7.
Yeah.
So you've been watching this show for 6 years.
I thought it was sooner than that. I thought he just always did.
At least 5 years, whatever it is. No, it was definitely not season 5. So you watched 5 full years of this show, 25 episodes per season. And then this guy comes out with glasses on and you're like, I thought you always wore glasses. And I knew a lot of my friends, everybody who watched that show with me, we were watching as it came out every week. And maybe it had something to do with the fact that you watched it once a week.
Yeah.
It wasn't like streaming today where you can binge the whole thing.
That's really funny though, because I just kind of thought he always did.
I thought he did too. I thought he up until that day. And then he goes, that was like the joke was, Monica was like, oh, your glasses look great. He goes, you didn't think I wore glasses all the time, did you? And she goes, no, absolutely not. And then to her friends behind his back, she goes, I had no idea. But it's how bad of eyewitnesses. I mean, how much of the population suffered that same. I'm sure
That's
there's
so
some
funny.
people
Yeah,
who were like,
I mean-
I recognized it. I knew it.
They must have been getting like a lot of.
I wonder
feedback,
if it
or
happened
how
for
did they
real.
know?
I wonder if it happened for real. I wonder if Matthew Perry got glasses and nobody mentioned it, nobody noticed it, nobody said a thing, and then he was like, dude, like, you guys didn't notice I got glasses? I wonder.
That'd be.
I
Really
have no
funny.
idea what the reality of it is, but it fooled me. And it really, I was really tripped out by that. But Cube.
They're here.
Who?
The zombies.
I thought the gate would stop them.
They knocked it down instantly.
How much time do we have?
They're already here.
We should have bought that beautiful Los Angeles dream house in that safe neighborhood that Corinne showed us.
I know, it was so much more defensible, and Corinne would have had us moved in before the apocalypse.
Do you think it's too late to call her now?
I'll try. No! We should have called Corinne sooner!
Don't wait until it's too late. Call Corinne Salas today at 714-510-6443 and buy your Los Angeles dream house now. That's 714-510-6443. You can also find her on Instagram at Next Home by Corinne or visit her website at corinnesalas.nexthomegrandview.com. That's CORINNESALAS.nexthomegrandview.com. There was a couple of, okay, the very, 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 very first thing, I dug the fact that they just gave us a kill instantly.
It really set the mood.
You knew that this was dangerous.
Yeah, it set the game, and it was unexpected.
And you got to see, like, I remember in Resident Evil when the lasers killed one, it like started showing him falling apart. Remember, it diced him into cubes, right?
Yeah, and then they're like, "Oh, that was a lot of CGI."
And all you saw was like that was pretty bad though, because you saw his eye like leaking out the side of his socket. You're like, oh man, and then you saw the shadow, right, or like a not even quite shadow reflection maybe, but it was a blurry reflection of him like crumbling down. This showed the guy falling apart after being diced into cubes from whatever that was, like a grate with razor
Yeah.
wire or something.
I don't know. It wasn't razor. It was just like fine wire that was very sharp.
You know,
Yeah.
I've heard like tight piano strings can do that to you.
That's wild. That cut straight through everything so clean. It really set the mood for the whole movie. And then
Were you
6 people?
anxious the whole time?
I wasn't anxious the whole time. I don't know what I was feeling the whole time. I wasn't really anxious. I was more, I guess, annoyed in certain times.
Really?
I thought the movie was great. I loved the movie. I think it was intentional. But like when they kept stepping on each other's toes, like they would all find a job and then start trying to do other people's jobs and step on their toes, particularly with Holloway and Kazan. They would all keep getting annoyed at Kazan, and she's like, dude, just go do your thing. Let me deal with him. Why do
Right.
you keep coming back over here?
Right. Boredom, perhaps, frustration.
I guess so.
Because I got one aspect of this is you've been cooped up in a place, right, away from home. You weren't able to come here. You were kind of like stuck, right, going between work and work basically was what you were doing. You were going from one job to another job. Did you feel like cabin fever? Like I just want to go out and be free.
I didn't feel trapped, but like I was like, definitely counting the days down, like when I could get home. The thing is, I'm very introverted. I don't really like to go out very much. Which the job I was doing, the person I was house sitting for lives 5 minutes. It should be 5 minutes. It's 10 minutes because of stoplights and traffic lights and every other thing to stop you on your way. But she doesn't live that far.
Where we just said yesterday, you had to drive from the edge of the city to the middle of the city
and back, and it took half a gallon of fucking gas because I forgot my phone charger. Ugh. Okay, but anyways, she's a little actually more centralized to everywhere that I go. So it didn't really change my day-to-day life all that much. The only difference is I don't own a dog. So it was a constant responsibility, and I couldn't take him to work with me like I would if I had a dog.
Right.
That dog would come to work with me. So it was like, I guess the anxiousness was like, okay, as soon as I leave work, I got to run and let him out. And then I have to go back towards my work to go check on this cat. And then I have to go all the way back to let the dog back out and feed him. And then on top of that, I'm trying to do some basic training with him. And it was
so
a little bit of a lot.
That's different.
It was I would say it was closer to overwhelming. I didn't get overwhelmed.
Yeah,
This is my job,
I would say more of the feeling that I'm going for is like when I got sick. By the third day, I had started suffering what I know as cabin fever. You're stuck inside and you just want to get outside.
I felt that when I had salmonella.
Oh, okay.
I spent all day just throwing up. The only time I could get up was to go throw up or get water or let the dog out while I was getting water. And it was the whole time, it was just the most miserable experience. Like, I just want to be better.
Speaking of which, do you ever think about the fact that if you were to ever get salmonella or I ever got the flu during the zombie apocalypse,
You'd
just
be so
dead.
screwed.
We're dead.
You'd be so screwed. You know, that's actually the first thing I thought about. As soon as I got
sick.
That's
the first thing I thought about.
I was like, man, if I got sick right now, let's say it was zombie apocalypse, I just got salmonella from bad food. Best chance I clear out that house, there's no one there, or I clear it out while I still have a little energy, and you just fucking hunker down.
Mm-hmm.
But then I can't Instacart Pepto like I did.
Yep.
I can't go get water from the fridge like I did. So I would just be huddling and dehydrating and probably end up dying, to be honest. Because I'm puking up my guts every 2 seconds.
I'm telling you.
And there's no food.
And you can't be quiet.
See, I'm less worried about that because in a house with closed windows and everything, it was like kind of a centralized room. There was a window to the backyard, but I really wouldn't have been worried about the noise.
See, but I would tell you this. Survival 101, right? You don't gather water for today.
Yeah.
You gather water for 3 days from now.
Mm-hmm.
So you have enough water at all times to be able to go through something like that.
So yeah,
I'm a little concerned, right? I was a little concerned about my 3-day rule. I was like, damn, if I'm capable of doing it, I think I'd better readjust that in a disaster scenario that I'm gathering water for 5 days out. Because if I got the flu like I did, I think about 3 days in, just walking to the kitchen, like I was going and boiling water and putting my head in the boiling water for the steam, and putting I put tea tree essential oil in it, and I just huffed it.
For a second it made it sound like you stick your head in the water. Just to clarify, not in the water.
Well, I don't know. Let's remove warning labels and see what happens.
Oh, yeah. You remove the warning label and you suddenly forget.
No, I did not put my head in the boiling water. I just put it over the steam.
You didn't tell me my coffee was hot.
You didn't tell me my hot coffee was hot. But I huffed it. I just breathed in all of the steam with the tea tree oil.
You know, that wouldn't be the worst idea in a apocalypse type situation. You boil a little bit of water if you have the essential oil to use.
Or get natural plant. I mean, if you could find eucalyptus, you can boil the water and put the eucalyptus in. Let it permeate the eucalyptus, and it'll do the same thing. You'll get a nice, good huff of that.
I need to learn like what these herbs and plants look like in the natural. Just
let your curiosity guide you, right? Because you start out with that. Like one thing that you should look at is dandelion. Dandelion it's a weed, but be careful because there's weeds that look very similar to it, and you don't want to eat those. You only want to eat dandelion root or dandelion leaf, and you can make so much stuff with it. It's good for you.
Every time I look at dandelions, it makes me think of it. There's a video of a person trying to bite into a cattail, and it's
oh my god, that one is so funny.
It's the funniest thing I've ever seen in my life.
Now, I won't bite into a cattail, but you know something really cool you can do with a cattail? So you really want to?
I really don't, but I really do.
So you got to see this with the cattail. You take a 2-liter bottle of one of these bottles, right? These I guess that's a 1-liter water bottle.
That's smart water.
And you cut it.
Not sponsored.
You shove the cattail in the mouth opening, but you cut the bottom open. You pour your water in, and it will filter out sediment. You still have to boil it. You still have to boil it if you're in a risky situation. You're not doing this with tap water,
well,
right?
You get all the dirt out.
But you get all the solids out.
That's, wow, I like that.
Cattail is a really cool filter for it.
It's a really cool,
cool
little survival tip.
Then
if you live near cattails.
Yeah, we have cattails
they
around.
Grow pretty much everywhere.
Just near water. Mostly near water.
Do they grow all around the world? Is there anywhere they don't grow?
I don't know.
If there's water?
I haven't done a whole lot of research on those things.
You're telling me you're not a cattail expert?
I'm not a cattail expert.
Wow.
No.
Disappointing.
Let you down.
A little bit. Good thing there's no cattails in Cube.
Although there were several other things that I saw in there. Number one was the numbering system.
I would have never figured that out.
I never would have figured that out.
Oh my God.
I mean, it was pretty impressive, but you just said this, but it was in taking it one step further. Instead of people like infringing on other people's jobs, mostly the cop, right? Quentin, he just started getting more and more annoying through the episode because he was getting mad at everybody.
Yeah. And
I kind of understood it.
I didn't.
Well, it's stressful, right? The whole situation is stressful.
Isn't he a cop?
No, I get that.
Isn't he supposed to be able to maintain himself or whatever?
But I kind of thought that maybe in 1997 they were kind of pushing the envelope a little early, that cops are bad, and you have the option of good cop or bad cop, and these stressful situations put them in it. And we realize that that's reality, right? Yeah. You got a cop that is in a stressful situation and makes all of the wrong decisions. And then you have cops that there is no stressful situation. They're making it a stressful situation, and they make all the wrong moves.
And I think that was him.
That was him. That was very much him.
Like
I did like that one dig that I think it was Holloway who said, "Oh, no wonder why your wife left. I wonder if you beat your kids like that too."
Oh yeah, that one was damn.
Dug in.
That if I was in that room, that would have been like turn around, like, oh fuck.
Because he admitted that she divorced him or they were separated.
Yeah, that's a big. Because you don't think it, but then she says it out loud, and you're like, oh yeah, for sure.
What a slap! That was good.
Yeah, like for sure.
That was good. So I liked some of the challenges, like the escape expert Ren.
Wow, that death.
That was awful, huh?
That made me nauseous.
Yeah.
That actually, like, I don't, that did something to me. Gore doesn't normally get me. Like the Saw gore and stuff like that just makes me like, it's not my thing. But the way maybe it was the mixture of the screaming and the directing was perfect because I was getting sick. Like, I genuinely felt like I was going to throw up for a second. It was really bad for me. That was very well done.
That was like, it was supposed to be some sort of an acid
Uh-huh.
that hit his face and
It ate through his whole face.
melted his face. I did feel later on when they got back in that room and they saw the body, and it was like, I really did think that they were going in circles.
Yeah.
And if it was me, I probably would have been like Worth and just gave up.
Their reaction was perfect. They all were defeated, even the cop. They all felt defeated after that.
We're just going in circles. No, but I kind of felt like they introduced something really late. Maybe I missed something, but I thought that they introduced the fact that there was shaking and rumbling very late in the movie.
No, it was pretty early. They just didn't think anything of it.
Is that right?
Yeah, it was. Ren was still alive when they noticed it. It was happening, and they were like, "Oh, that sound," and he was like, "It seems mechanical. It's happening at regular intervals."
Oh, good catch. I missed it.
So they definitely noticed it, but they weren't putting together that the rooms were moving.
Right.
Because why the fuck would you?
Dude. Yeah, and you had asked earlier in the episode, were there 6 of them? Yeah, there were 6 of them. 7 if you count the first death, Alderson. But we know of 6 of them. You know, we get to know 6 of them. Ren dies pretty quick. And then it just kind of seems to be more than the traps killing them killing themselves or each other. But you had asked me, and I'll bring it up here. Holloway kept talking about the government and the military-industrial complex and conspiracy theory. And you asked me what I thought. I do think that this is bigger than just a private individual because you don't get the land, you don't get the permits, you don't like this has to be secret.
That had to be expensive ass metal and
huge cost of everything, and the fact that everything is moving
and all the traps
and it looked
and the
like
sensors and
the fact that where they were on the picture of the cube. I want to say when Worth grabbed Quentin and held him and kept him from going out.
That was perfect. And
the cube crushed him between those two moving parts. You saw that big smear of blood on the wall. It was all the way at the top. It looked like there was so much going down. So I was like, this is all underground. It looked like Kazan was on the top, right? So it was like, and it looked like desert, if I'm not mistaken.
I thought it was just white light. I don't think we ever saw the outside, but that would make sense. I don't know. I was just imagining a giant cube above ground. It would make so much more sense to put it in the ground, but I'm just imagining like a big, in my mind, it's floating off of the ground. It's a big floating cube, and they have some big stairway that leads to the door. That's what I was imagining.
Well, then there was this mind fuck that Worth was originally, in my mind, the bad guy. And we found out that he was the builder who was constructing the exterior of this thing.
The shell.
But he never went there. Like he was just doing it from afar. He was designing it and other people did the building, which Holloway made a really good point. That's how conspiracy theories work. Mm-hmm. Nobody knows what they're working on. They just do it. Mm-hmm. I'm given this small little piece here and they just do it. And she even said that about Quentin as a cop. You know, you do things every day all the time that are in support of this system, and you'll defend the system even when you don't know you're doing it.
It's a lot like when people talk about like the Illuminati, and they're like, "Oh, what do you think? They just have like these secret meetings all the time?" Like, no, I don't think they have meetings. I think when you're all influenced by the same people, you all are a part of the same colleges, the same groups, you're all exposed to the same ideals, the same way of thinking.
Group think.
You don't need meetings.
Right.
You guys are all being taught the same exact thing.
And
so that's how you're
long-term
gonna,
principle, long-term goal.
Exactly. So that's how these groups of people end up doing this group cause without being a group.
That's like on a much larger scale, that's like Jonestown.
Jonestown?
Oh, that was the cult. The guy influenced so many people, got him to leave the country. I think it was Guyana. And when he was busted, I think it was because he knew he was going to be busted. He got all of his parishioners to take poison. And they all took this poison, and if I'm not mistaken, I should look it up, but if I'm not mistaken, he shot himself as opposed to taking the poison with him.
Coward. Won't even go out the way he had all of his parishioners go out.
No, it's just absolutely
Lame.
freaking ridiculous. Guyana. It was Guyana.
Everybody say, boo, Guyana. Boo.
Well, it wasn't Guyana's fault. It was the fact that this guy goes down there. Jim Jones was his name.
Sorry, retract that. Guyana, you're cool. Boo, Jim Jones.
Boo, Jim Jones. Boo cults. I mean, this
cult's kind of cringe.
And you know, it's so funny because they all use religion as their starting point, and then you know where they've gone wrong when for some reason to them they go out and say that it's God's will that they have, 7 wives who are all underage. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's God's will that I do that. Yeah, come on, man. But
Just
I
because
also
a
say,
crazy person says it's God's will doesn't make it God's will.
I also say shame on the parents that all went in on that. I mean, do your own reading. Like, this is what's dangerous today. Some people call other people extremists for saying something like, I'm not sure about a vaccine.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure about this medical treatment. I'm not sure if this is good for me, right? That's extremism to some people today. Instead of saying, like back in the day, it was always research it, talk to your doctor,
'cause that's
find out what's good for you.
Back in the day, 20 years ago,
10 years ago,
it was common sense to go, oh, brand new vaccine. Maybe I give it a second, let it see what it does to other people. Not to mention vaccines usually have a much longer creation time than a few months, but going off of that topic, but conspiracy theories, I do agree, but for what purpose?
I don't know. That's where they messed with me, and I do like it, right? I like that the writers and the director did this. It's almost better because they just let you think. Like, what do you think?
It's a great ending for a movie to leave it so blank, but it also sucks. It satisfies the itch that something has concluded,
right?
That it has ended, somebody survived, but it's not over.
Right.
What the hell happened?
Right. Now
I saw there's a 2021 version.
Oh, no way.
So I can't help but wonder.
Oh, well, I might do it. I'll look around. But I don't know. I'm curious. What do you think? Would you survive this?
I'm not going to lie. I don't know if I could climb from like the ceiling doors.
That's a
down.
good point.
That's kind of hard. I'm also scared of heights.
That's another good point.
And that would be really tough for me. I don't know what purpose I would serve to the group in this situation. I'm not good with numbers like that. I don't know my prime numbers. I don't know how to just figure that out. Definitely can't factor out big numbers like that.
Yep.
I barely know how to factor. I really have a very small idea of what factoring is. So not happening.
Okay, so I will say one let me read one goof that the movie made. When Levin first checks the rooms, the set of numbers for primes, she has to think for a few seconds for each set. The first set of numbers she checks ends in 5. The second set ends in 2. Numbers ending in 2 or 5, other than 2 or 5 themselves, by definition cannot be prime. Someone proficient at math, as Levin is, wouldn't need to think about the numbers. She'd register they were multiples of 2 and 5 and move straight to the last number.
But I'm willing to give leeway there because when you're freaked in a brand new environment like this and you have she was freaked in the beginning.
Stress.
She was very stressed. She became super cool and really like badass.
Which proves something, by the way, that in a stressful situation, it's better to have a job than have nothing at all.
The cop had good points. See, I don't know why he went crazy.
He did.
I don't know what. Maybe just dehydration, lack of food, lack of rest, and a stressful environment, and then people he didn't necessarily like.
You know what might be worse is hopelessness.
Maybe so.
Right? He started becoming willing to sacrifice everybody else to make sure he survived.
Yeah, I don't know why. Why would you get rid of your doctor?
I mean, geez,
that's like such a suicidal.
You're so right. You're so right. We were talking in one of our previous episodes where we read that quiz, and it was what would you like to have? You know, a doctor, a soldier, a farmer. It's like doctor. You can't just be a doctor.
Yeah.
You know, in the post-apocalyptic world, how do you gain that without having a doctor to train people?
You can learn to farm by figuring it out. I think you can learn to shoot by figuring it out. I don't know if you could just learn to be a doctor.
Without training.
Yeah. How do you just by yourself just learn how the body functions?
Right. Can you just read? I mean, you know, I have all of these law books and everything like that, right? I can read those books. It's not going to make me a lawyer.
Yeah.
There's training that goes into it. You have to have some training that goes with that theoretical experience, right, or knowledge.
That's why doctors have to do a residency. You don't just read books and become a doctor.
You read it and then you practice it, which, I mean, I love that they call it a practice
medicine
for the rest of their lives, right? You're a practice. And this was, I have to agree with you. I really can't find my role in Cube. I'm not a mathematician. I'm not a doctor. I'm not an engineer.
I'm not autistic.
I don't have a brain to just calculate massive numbers.
I'm glad he survived of everybody. He deserved to survive the most.
He really did. He was the most innocent out of everybody.
Actually, I think Levin. I was so upset when Levin died. Honestly.
Well, that's true. We didn't know anything about her. Why she was even there.
She did everything.
Yeah.
She was the entire reason. Besides that, and which the fact that they got so far on prime numbers before that first mistake is so lucky and wild.
Yep.
Well, I guess we never really explained this. The premise was that initially they believed if all the numbers were prime, then the room would be safe. But if any of them were not prime, then there was a trap in that room. And this worked for, we presume, hours and multiple, like a lot of rooms before it finally failed and one of the rooms was trapped. What was it?
Well, are you talking about what they've discovered?
Yeah, like when she was like, I thought it was prime. I swore. Oh, it was when his leg got cut.
Oh, right. She discovered it was actually not that they were prime. It was that they were coordinates on a 3-dimensional map.
Well, she said they were like primed but squared. Eventually, she got to the point where she was like, I can't even begin to factor these numbers.
Right.
And that's when Kazan was like 4.
Yeah.
3.
Astronomical. I loved him.
He was the best.
He was so cute too. He was so innocent.
I loved the way Holloway dealt with him.
But again, it made me like even more mad. Why would you put him in there?
Yeah, what did he do?
It's okay.
This is definitely work of government.
You can make me think that the cop was a dick. He was a dick. Worth was one of the builders of this thing, which if it's a conspiracy, you get rid of all of the people who are involved. Right?
And he knew. He knew from the second he was in there,
that's right.
They're getting rid of me.
Holloway, we don't know. She was a little strange. She was a doctor.
Been a bad doctor.
Maybe she was killing people on purpose. Levin, I can't tell you. We didn't know anything about her. She was just a student and a mathematician. I don't know. Maybe she's brilliant, but she is lazy and she cheats. I don't know. They didn't give us enough to say anything. But there is nothing you can tell me about Kazan that would
Yeah,
make me
I
be
agree.
like, I feel no allegiance to throwing him in there as if we're going this moral route that all of these people did horrible things. No, he didn't.
Yeah,
And if
you
he
can't
did,
convince me.
he could not figure that. He didn't know.
He doesn't deserve this. No one deserves that.
No, that was awful. You figure this out or die.
Mm-hmm.
You know, just terrible. But I'm with you. I don't think I'm going to survive Cube. But I still want to say thank you to Dean Laxer to recommend it. I did enjoy the movie.
This was a really good movie. It makes me want to get that game and play it with you because I think you'd find it fun.
And there's also nothing you can do about, you had mentioned it already, dehydration, hunger.
Yeah, the fact that they weren't given food and water seems I guess they were in there to die, but there was a way out.
Right.
So I don't know.
But then even when you get out, where do you go?
Yeah, I want to know so bad what is out there.
I don't know.
Does he just walk out to a desert and die of dehydration? That would suck.
That's exactly what I'm wondering. And they leave it to your imagination. So you could be as positive or as hopeless as you want to be.
And what if there are people waiting for him? There's no way that they're good people.
True, too.
So, there's no winning this. We have to assume it ended bad.
So this was just a great mind fuck.
It's a shitty movie. I'm kidding. I liked it.
No, I really enjoyed it. It is classified as horror, mystery, sci-fi. I think that it fits those categories. I don't think we survive Cube. Don't come for me.
I don't think anybody survives Q. I think you're delusional if you think you do. Unless you're a math whiz.
Yeah.
But even then, I think there's like a 70% chance you just die early on.
I love how you threw in a percentage there when you're talking about math whizzes.
I just make up numbers.
I love it.
Yeah, it's 72% actually. 72.69%.
What's so strange is that you went that number. The number I always go to is 83%.
Mm.
And that's why I don't think zombies would ever be a real threat.
I agree because...
Whoa, I'll get my kukuri.
Wait. I think he's saying something.
Zombies don't talk.
Just wait a sec. What was that?
You need a loan? What, are you going to buy a house?
What do you need a loan for?
I think he wants to buy a home. Don't we know someone who can help him with that?
Yeah, we do. Have you heard of Corinne Salas at Next Home Grandview in Glendale, California?
Mm-hmm. She can help you get moved into your forever home now.
Your eternal resting place, if you will. Or forever home. That works. Don't miss the opportunity of a lifetime like this guy. Call Corinne today at 714-510-6443. You can also find her on Instagram at Next Home by Corinne or visit her website at corinnesalas.nexthomegrandview.com. That's CORINNESALAS.nexthomegrandview.com.
Not food. So I enjoyed it. I appreciate the recommendation, and keep them coming, guys. We have all of our socials. You can check us out on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, Pinterest. Always head over to our Pinterest. We have our build your own bailout bag and all kinds of survival gear. We do get commission from qualified purchases if you guys buy anything from that Pinterest account. You click on the link and it takes you to an Amazon. And we would thank you very much for that.
And then you'd also have some cool survival gear, so...
Absolutely. Like emergency food. There's water clarity pills.
So if you're ever thrown into a crazy cube with a bunch of traps, you'll have water pills.
You won't have water.
But you'll have them. You can say you had them.
Yes, you will. You know what we do have on there that you could use in Cube? You have a satellite radio.
You really think a satellite...
Don't fuck with my sales pitch.
Are you... You right. Totally right. Totally, for sure. Yeah.
All right. So you go check out all of our socials at Will You Survive the Podcast. On X, we are at Alex and Erik, WYS. And, of course, our email, alexanderic@willyousurvivethepodcast.com.